Back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Max DeFore of Northville Football. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. How about you, Casey?
Doing well. Uh, let's talk about the first 2 weeks of the season. We're already at week 3. How's the year going?
I think it's going great. I think that the team's just come together super well. I think that we've gotten past all the flunks and miscommunications in the first game, and I think that we're just moving up and up from here, and I think it should be a great season.
Yeah, of course. The scariest week out of the high school football season is week 1, and obviously you never know what could happen that week. So once everyone gets through that, good teams get better throughout the year. And it's a testament to you guys as obviously you guys have came a long way from the first quarter in week 1 till the fourth quarter against
Yeah.
the Plymouth game. So what's been the biggest thing that you guys have all improved at?
I think that we've just improved at our individual jobs on the field. One thing that our coaches always say is do your 111th, which I think that we have really improved a lot on because everybody's doing their job on the field and it shows because when we have those breakout plays or those stops on defense, everybody does their 111th and we're successful.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know that it's been an interesting few years for you. I kind of want to start at the beginning of last year. When Colin Moore went down, I know that your name was called upon to fill the role at running back. What was that like for you and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you were only 14 years old at the time.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I knew I was decent sized. I was for a 14-year-old, I was obviously pretty big, but going out there against practically adults, it was insane to me, and it really didn't hit me that I was up playing on that level of football until the first game, and I was really like, I'm really about to go out and play against kids that are twice the size of me.
For sure. Okay, so going in from last year, I know, and then of course you had to deal with some adversity yourself. I know you got hurt as well last year, but can you tell me about the recovery process and really just what was that like for you and just some of the things you really focused on to become and get back to 100%.
So the recovery for me was it was actually very nice in some sense because I was able to focus on things that I knew I needed to work on. And I was able to have a time period to do that where I had like nothing going on. And I think that everybody around me, including like physical therapists, trainers, everything was like very supportive, helpful. And like I went into that knowing like I wanted to work on like a few specific things coming into the next year. And one of like the biggest ones was vision and footwork. And I would say I worked on those the heaviest with trainers and just everyone, especially with getting confidence back in my knee, cutting with that knee because it can be hard for some people to get confidence in cutting in the knee because they may not believe in the actual reconstruction.
Yeah. Okay, so playing in the first few games and since the injury, how have you been? Just from how I feel standpoint, how are you? How have you felt the last 2 games? Just from a playing standpoint.
I felt great, honestly. My knee has not been bothering me at all. My body feels great. I've just focused on stretching, keeping my body right because one thing I learned from last year and one reason I believe that I like tore my knee up again is because I wasn't stretching and taking care of my body. So I think that that also was another main focus for me. And I think that it's been great for me in game situations and even practice because I'm making it through like without being very sore or anything.
For sure. Okay, so I know you're entering in your junior season. Just how is just the start of school. I know that started last week. To get back in the swing of things, how have you been adjusting to going back to school again, playing, and just kind of balancing all these other things,
Yeah.
and just trying to also be an everyday kid.
Yeah, it really hasn't been too hard for me to balance it because I was working a job in the summer with football. So I was kind of just like it wasn't too difficult to adjust to it, but definitely the schoolwork aspect of it, that's gonna be more difficult to get used to as it ramps up over time. But so that definitely should be difficult.
Okay. Of course, this week, week 3 is upon us. A very familiar opponent is coming to town. Of course, with Brighton, obviously the school that, of course, gave Coach Luplo his start. What's that? What do you feel like you guys got to do because to come away with the win and go to 2-1 on the year, and obviously it would be a big win to beat Brighton again,
Yeah.
which would be the third consecutive time if you were to do it.
Yeah. I think that we just need to be the team that wants it more. We need to go out there and we need to compete to the standard that we know we can. And we just need to go out there and prove that last year wasn't a fluke.
Okay. Um, okay, so let's get inside your head a little bit, Max. Um, I don't know if you have headphones on and I think you do sometimes.
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
I personally prefer country. I don't really think rap or anything like that pumps you up. I like the songs that I'm able to say the lyrics to and really get into them because it allows me to pump up myself.
Yeah. Favorite country artist?
I like Kane Brown or Luke Bryan.
Okay. All right. Not bad choices.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so like what are you thinking about like right before a game?
Right before a game, I kind of just clear out my mind and I'm just thinking like I just got to go out there and I just got to do my thing. I got to be confident in myself. Can't let the surrounding noise get in my head. I just got to go out there, do my thing, and play the best to my ability.
Okay. All right, Max. Let's I don't think since this is your first time you've been on here, let's get to know you a little bit. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so favorite sport, like favorite, no, I should not say that. Favorite team to root for, this can be any sport.
My favorite team is Michigan. I don't really prefer NFL. I don't really follow like any NFL teams. I always get asked like, "What's your favorite NFL team?" or anything like that. I prefer college sports over NFL or MLB, NBA, anything.
Uh, Yeah, it was I know obviously not a good weekend for the Maize and Blue, but
Not at all.
obviously I know you've had a lot of success to cheer for over the last few years.
Yeah.
What was that? Um, I know that I know that some of your past teammates have got to experience a few of those big moments for Michigan. But what was that? What was that like to see a national championship?
I mean, it was great, honestly. I will never forget it. I was at my neighbor's house and we were just watching it and they went out there and they did their thing and it was a great game to watch. And I mean, honestly, I didn't watch the whole game because by the time it got to the fourth quarter, Michigan was already it was like destined Michigan was going to win, but it was a great game to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I watched it. The people at my house decided to never forget this, like 70 plus year old glasses and broke out the champagne to
Yeah.
celebrate. So it's like, and of course, some of my family members went down to the parade and down to Chrysler and all that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Go-to place for food.
Probably Chipotle or Five Guys. One of those two. Those are if I just want to go out and get a lunch, get a snack with friends, it's either Five Guys, Chipotle.
Okay. Um, what's been your favorite football memory so far? I'm gonna since I may know what it is, I'm gonna give you two. You have to come up with two of them.
Okay. My favorite football memory was probably freshman year.
Okay.
I went out and my first play back from my first knee injury, I went out and scored. I think it was like a 65-yard touchdown run. That's probably my most favorite memory, most cherishable memory, because obviously it was that recovery was a lot longer because I had to sit by and watch my teammates finish their 8th grade year of football and I wasn't able to play.
Dang.
My second one, that one's hard. It's probably the touchdown against Brighton last year.
Yeah.
That's probably my second most charitable memory.
This was in the week 3 game at Brighton. So
Yeah. It
uh
was it was kind of a slow game for me, and then my coaches got in my face and I went out there the second half and I was kind of just pounding the ball, lowering my shoulder, getting as much yards every time, and I just pounded it and got a score on the board.
yeah, for sure. All right. And okay. And then the last thing is I'll end it on this. I usually try to end it on this, but what is an interesting fact people may not know about you, Max?
I An interesting fact people may not know about me. I used to be a really good juggler.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah. I Back in elementary school, we had like a juggling class and I got really into it. So I was just constantly practicing. So
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, Max, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck this week against Brighton.
thank you for having me.